Hey everyone, it's Wednesday now. Been on the new job for 3 days or so. As you can see, there's all the pine. Nice wood. So I figured I'd do a little video. I've been busy here, so I haven't got much out this week. But somebody asked me about how this processed bigger pine. And this is almost about the biggest pine that this machine will cut. I'll get out and measure it. Might be a little loud with the harvester running here, but hold on a second, I'm gonna hop out. So we're gonna measure how big this tree is, this pine. So, this tree is sorry for all that. Probably couldn't hear much there, but that pine tree is just about 2 feet. It was measured 23 inches. Which isn't a monster, but it's a pretty good sized tree. And that's, I might be able to get my, so basically as long as I can get my feed wheels around the tree, I can cut it clean off. So pretty much, this head is, they say it's an 18-inch head. But pretty much the max that this machine will cut off is about 24 inches. And then the bigger trees, you know, might be, that one doesn't look real, this one doesn't look real big, but it is. So, and I can cheat that, so basically, anything bigger, if I can show it, if I get one today, I'll come back and show you guys, but so if I can't get my feed wheels around it, I tilt my head up and I can look at it and see if the tree's perfectly straight. I don't really worry. I can put it where I want to. So I'll go cut the front side and then back up and cut the back side. Usually you can push it over and you don't do anything to the butt or anything. And then I'll take my rule out and flip. For those of you who don't know what this is mainly for cutting wood by hand. You flip this down and hook it on the end, on the butt, and run it out. I try to keep a can of spray paint in here, but I'll just grab a stick and measure it out to, like this one, if I couldn't get my feed wheels around it, I'd go out to 16.6, and then I'll go out with my head and cut it off. So it basically allows me to, you know, if I need to cut a couple logs, then I can get the tree down to where it's not quite so big and it's easier on the head. So that's how I deal with some of the bigger stuff. And then of course, if you get into some real big pine, then, you know, I can't do that. So you're gonna have to cut it by hand. So, so basically, I wish I could get a little more video of processing it, but like, I don't think I can do it with this one. So I have to kind of work the you know, the knives and the smaller wood I can, well, I guess I can, so do it. You just have to, like there, my knives were holding it up, so 193 inches, there, 196, and so new chain, new bar, you know, I can saw that stuff off without splitting anything. So, but it's basically smaller wood I can kind of run without using both hands. I guess I'm kind of doing that. So I got, see right there, if I had both hands, I'd have to open the knives a little bit. They're getting hung up. And that's one of the tricks with this wood or running a processor is a kind of, is being able to, you have to open and close your knives and all at the same time. So, and doing that all together is kind of like a logger's ballerina, because it's all about the flow and you just kind of know how the head works. So, you know, and long and short, you got to figure out how to do all these things together, and then you can process a bigger tree. So, or you can do things that the head's not really made to do, but you're not beating it all to crud. So I figured I'd show that. That wasn't a real rough pine. And you know, if you get into some big, nasty, knotted pine, you know, this head doesn't like it. But this stuff, also, it's pretty cold. So it makes those branches real brittle, so it's even easier to process big wood. Also, we got the forwarder here yesterday and had a little mishap. Apparently, somebody skidded through an intersection into the low bed, and I'll put some. I only have a few pictures that Wes sent me, but the car was totaled. Nobody was hurt. But it goes to show you, you know, if you live in a climate where the roads aren't great, it's winter, you need to be paying attention. You know, if you skid through an intersection, you're obviously not paying attention. Luckily, nobody was hurt, but the car was totaled. So it actually moved the forwarder 4 inches on the low bed. So anyways, I figured I'd do a video today. Okay, so I'm back for a minute. I'm going to see if I can show you guys this, but this is definitely a tree that's too big to get my feed wheels around. So I'm going to go down here. Of course, I'm going a little slower than I would normally just because I've got the phone in my hand. And that's my head tilt. So I'm going to take it. I've got that like that. And I'm going to... So this is essentially front notch, so I'm gonna get maneuvered around the tree and then I'll be back. Okay, I'm back, and I'll take the head too on these big trees, and there was brush around it, and I've pawed everything around. The other thing too is when you're double cutting a tree with this machine, the bar goes out like this. So imagine it doesn't cut, if you would say, perfectly straight across the tree. So you have to kind of maneuver the machine so that you're kind of matching up with the other side. So cutting from the other way, the bar was coming into this side, so I've cut a little further in this side. Now I'm positioned so I can cut this way. So it doesn't always work perfect, but if you don't pay attention to that, you'll end up with way too much meat on one side or the other, which could either create a bunch of fiber pull or it'll just go where you don't want it to. So, let me see if I can get positioned here. I kind of have to do it slower just to kind of one hand. And we'll see how this goes. I think it's leaning the way I want it to, but I can kind of tell. Sometimes you gotta give it a little friendly push. I'm kind of angling the head a little bit so that I get a little more of the other side. So there she... Well, darn it. I wanted to get a picture of the tree falling, but I got a phone call just as it was going over. So anyways, as you can see, there was just that little section on the top right there where my bar didn't cut. But other than that, it went right where I wanted it to. I haven't measured that, but that's probably 26, 28 inches or something like that. So, alrighty, I just figured I'd show you guys. Here's another double cutter. Let's see if it does what I want it to. Hold on. Put you down. I had to maneuver a little bit. You can see, not getting enough cut. Stump here. As you can see right there, it was only going to there, so I had to set over here a little bit, and we'll snip off the rest and see where this one I'm just gonna let kind of go. There she goes. That's a pretty big tree. And that's how I deal with the big pines, and you can see no fiber pole, nothing. So, also I can kind of do this because it's open enough between the pines and stuff that it comes down and doesn't really do anything, so it doesn't hurt anything else. Most of the time you can guide it pretty good. So, anyway.